It's a road trip for Ride Connecticut. Hi, it's Bud Wilkinson. Today we're in Jupiter, Florida for the Masonic Car Show, where you can see a 1957 Ford Fairlane. It's a bright red convertible beauty owned coincidentally by a Connecticut transplant from North Haven. Butch Forte now lives in Tequesta, Florida, and has owned the Fairlane 500 for nearly 24 years.
As far as the convertibles, they only made 11,000 real convertibles. And in 1957, Ford outsold Chevrolet, I think for about 25 or 26,000 cars. I bought it from the original family in Mateo, California. The gentleman that owned it had nothing but Fords. And he was a collector, but he also put in irrigation for all the wine fields. And this was his aunt's car, who he left it to. And it didn't need much restoring. He repainted it and stuff like that, but all the pans, there was no rust. These were rust buckets in 1957. They were known for that. But this was a true treasure.
It's a low-mileage classic that has outlasted many other models that Forte has owned.
I had 9 cars at one time, but this car has a lot of memories. When I was up in Connecticut, I was always in parades in my town. My 2 daughters used to sit on the back with the top down, throw candy. So it's got a lot of memories, and I'm leaving it to my grandson, who's an aerospace engineer. A lot of sentimental value.
Just a ways across the parking lot from Forte's Fairlane on Saturday was a 1954 Mercury Monterey convertible that was just as noteworthy. It's owned by Gary Gerber of Jupiter, who purchased it at a Barrett-Jackson auction.
I liked the color of the car. I liked it was convertible. And the most important thing, it was very well restored.
The car's primary duty is to go to car shows.
The things I like about it, it's a convertible. I like the Y-block engine. It's not a high-performance engine, but it's got a lot of pep and it keeps it going. It's not a slow car. And it's just very well built.
Amidst some predictable other models, the Mercury stood out because you don't see that many of them anywhere.
It's very unusual, you don't. And usually when I go to car shows, it's kind of like everybody awes at it because you don't see many of them.
While somewhat modest in size, the Masonic Car Show had some other models that you don't see every day. A 1954 Chevrolet Corvette, for instance. It got a prominent position and attracted foot traffic. From early models to family compacts, hot rods to foreign roadsters, the annual show excelled when it came to variety. Another car that caught Ride Connecticut's eye was a right-hand drive 1993 Mazda RX-7 sports car belonging to Russ Caternicchio of Port St. Lucie. He also bought it at auction and then had it restored and upgraded.
It's rated at 325 horsepower. It's got 9,000 RPM redline. The car is incredibly fast. I get about 13 miles to the gallon, but it's not made for the EPA. It's made for speed. It's a time machine. You go in this car, you're back to the 90s. It's in 1993.
What perhaps stood out the most were the owners at the car show. Like owners everywhere, they loved talking about their cars. In Jupiter, Florida for Ride Connecticut, I'm Bud Wilkinson, and if you've just discovered the channel, please subscribe.